Welcome, everybody. Hi, everybody. We love you all. Thank you for being here. This is your weekly on different day uh D&D stream featuring the crew. And today we have something special for you guys. We have possibly a two-parter. Um but the main part is going to be a Q&A featuring all of our characters, us, and the forever lovely Archon, aka our DM. And I'm not necessarily sure what the schedule is. That is all up to Archon. He's got this all ready to go. And without further ado, I will introduce everyone so far. We have Cacophonics, aka InsanityZANZ. We have Aquafina, aka the lovely and certified genius X. We have Lolu, aka VictoriasJoined. And of course, xArkonx, aka xArkonx, RageCon, RaveCom, all the above. And yeah, take it away, Archon.
Oh yeah, it's Chiboy Icon. The Riz Master as well is my newest one.
Ooh.
I better put on my Riz glasses. Yeah, so we thought we'd just try something a little bit differently. I think it's kind of cool to, get to know everyone's characters a bit more intimately. Like sometimes it's a lot of battling, a lot of harassing my NPCs, and we sometimes just don't get to like dive fully into sometimes your characters, their thoughts, feelings, emotions. Usually it's just uh, Cacophonics mating with my NPCs. Which hey, I love. I love acting it out. I love doing the scenes for that. But sometimes it's good to see some other stuff. So anytime you guys have questions, just write in the chat. We'll get to them when we can. Obviously we might get carried away with our combos, but I'm sure your lovely streamers will come back to the questions. So and yeah, obviously you guys can ask me anything about the game so far, anything about like anything that's happened that you're like, oh, what was meant to happen there, or what would have happened if we'd done this, or all that kind of jazz, or just general stuff about prepping or D&D stuff, all that jazz, and you guys obviously can ask the same between each other as well. I don't know if you guys want me to go through some of the stuff I have on my list, or if you guys have something off your noggin that you kind of want to get off now before you forget. Yes, no?
You can go
not
ahead.
not me.
Oh my gosh. You guys are the worst.
Insanity trying to speak to you, but it's not.
It would help when it doesn't go to Discord. I love it. I love it. I'm saying, should we just give a quick overview of who all our characters are again? Just say, give them a little description of who they are, just for a little bit of context.
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
So I'll kick off.
Yeah.
You'll know him. You'll love him. He's the greatest bard that ever existed. He is a god amongst men. He is the alpha of this pack. It's Cacophonics, right? So Cacophonics, essentially, he honestly and truly believes he's of the lineage of Choro, which is the founding father of the capital city, which escapes my name right now. He was like one of the founders of it, and he believes that Charo speaks him. So he's got the spirit that speaks him all the time. Although his parents were like poor, he grew up poor and a beggar, and he got bullied and beaten up at school. He still 100% believes that he is royalty, and nobody can change his mind about that, right? So he's an outcast, but he thinks he's royalty. He also thinks he's God's gift in the arts. This muse of his, Charles' his muse, inspires him to write music and songs and plays and that. I think it's absolutely amazing, and no matter what people tell him, he's not going to get sweated otherwise. Yeah, that's Cacophonics in a nutshell.
Aquafina.
Me next. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm going to read what I've written here, which I've read before, but I'll read it again because I don't like unfair stuff. Anyway, Aquafina, as you guys know, is a young sorcerer. and she's setting out on a quest to find answers and claim that which she's supposedly heiress to, the sole heiress to. She was raised by her mother in an outcasted community and hadn't had much interaction with the outside world, which is why she's so awkward around all these people. And her favorite thing is to waterboard people. She's a nimble sorcerer elf, and you guys all love her.
So true.
Lolu.
All right. So my name's Lolu. I joined the campaign sort of in the middle bit. Love alcohol, have lots of unburied trauma, which, we're getting through.
Describing your character, not you.
Oh, sorry. No, those all apply. And yeah, I am excited to continue stealing things soon and just being a really big help to the party. Yeah.
And of course, you have xArkonx. He is a half-dragon summoner. His whole thing is that he is also an outcast, similar to Cacophonics. However, he is actually half royalty. His parent of one side was a dragon. Parent of the other was a high ruling person in the family that rules Brevoy, and he's been bullied and laughed at, mocked, and criticized his entire childhood, and he's grown up with a disdain for authority figures, and he wants to prove himself as royalty to everyone who doubted him. And as it stands right now, he is just out of his depression because Cacophonics, the dude that upsets him more than everyone else, really pulled through in the last boss battle, and he did nothing. He died like basically twice, so he was really depressed. And through leveling up, he is no longer as depressed, and he has some tricks up his sleeve ready to go. And that's xArkonx.
Love it. And then I voice a lot of your favorite characters, like Oleg, the dysfunctional tavern owner, his beautiful wife Svetlana, Chief Suit Scale, just so many lovable characters. Generic Bandit #1. Oh, and #3. You can find them hanging outside. Oleg.
How do you not mention the key character, Arkon's recurring theme character, the
Claptrap.
OG? How does he not even Claptrap? How does the OG not get a mention?
You mean
Mr.
Merv?
Mr.
Merv.
How does Merv?
Merv is such a unique character, it's just that character that just people love to hate, and I think a lot of people can relate to him,
Merv is the reason why I play this game, just in hopes to see him again. Oh, and the Albez. Of course, Albez. How can we forget the Albez? Those were the best voices ever done.
The Albez, that's actually a good question. What's been your guys' favorite voice or NPC so far, other than obviously Merv?
Trap's good.
Nays. I do like I think it's Svetlana. She seems really simple. It's like, oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Hello, everyone.
For me, favorite voice has to be the Albez. I loved when you did the Albez, right?
Oh, yeah.
That we haven't had in this campaign, but in the last campaign, did the Albez. I love that voice. Favorite character though, honestly, has to be Oleg, just because he's so true to who he is. Like, he's got these convictions. Like, he generally gets upset when you don't have meetings with barnards. Like, I feel that character. Like, there's something about him. I'm just like, I like that guy, right?
Yeah, and it's completely the opposite of what's written in the fiction, of how they describe Oleg and how to play him.
Really? Meant to be like the serious, stern, like.
Yeah, I never follow. I just do what I feel's right, I never follow like fully what they say. Like some of them do, like Takushio in the notes it said like he looks down on everyone else. He thinks he's like very important. So that's why I played him like that, because it made sense for him. The others I was like, like JFL's a lot more usually sketchy, but I was like, oh, like I kind of like her character and I don't want to be too like sketchy,
Yeah, we love JSL.
I got a question here. Who taught Cacophonics how to sing? And the answer to that is nobody. He's self-taught. He didn't need to be taught. He again, you know, in his mind, he's just great. He's just a natural. You know, this is what the spirits told him. He's just amazing. You don't need lessons when you're that good, right? So no lessons involved.
Really not.
I don't believe it. Um,
Follow-up question: can someone teach Cacophonics to sing?
Please. I will
Got
spend
'em.
money on it.
oh, 100%. No, I love that. Bards are very fun and unique, you know, like, so they obviously have the magic with their singing and voices, but, you know, you just have to use your imagination as, you know, as the listener. He has a beautiful voice. Maybe Insanity doesn't, but, you know,
It's all about that imagination.
gotta use that imagination. Let's go, Cornesta.
Oh.
Um,
I have a question for Cacophonics.
What's your question?
Is that your real name, or is it a fake name because you're running away from baby mamas?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Cacophonics doesn't need to hide his name. None of those children have been proven to be his. There
One
ain't
day.
no proof.
DNA
enough.
testing hasn't gotten that far yet.
yeah, I'm excited for this Cobalt baby.
Is it actually gonna happen? Are we?
Terrified.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah, definitely,
Oh,
100%.
this is gonna be fantastic.
It'll be like it'll be like, you know, maybe it'll come to rise maybe like 6 months or something. But yeah, something's cooking.
Yeah.
Something's
cooking.
brewing.
Oh, something's definitely cooking. Something's.
Oh yeah.
That child is cooking in the oven right now.
Ooh.
It is-
They said all transgressions will be forgiven. We've checked this multiple times, right? That's how those midflits are dying. Like when that baby pops up and it's got like golden locks and a golden moustache, you promised all transgressions. Right?
You just gotta hope they're like Oleg, where if like Zarek like slept with Lana and the baby came out scaly, he'd be like, he has my eyes.
yeah,
Such a baby boy.
exactly.
Have some hay. Shove the hay down. That'd be beautiful.
Breastfed? Nah, he's field fed. He's fed by
Ooh.
the field.
Chilled. He's never too young to be out working the fields.
Exactly.
I always say. So obviously you guys been playing your characters a little bit and enjoying them. Is there any other classes that you guys were umming and ahhing about, or any classes that you're like kind of like, I actually, not that I hope your character dies, but you're like, oh, that'll be a fun class to play.
I really loved my druid, right? I still think druid is one of the coolest classes in D&D. They just got so much versatility, so much utility. I just love druid. So there's a part of me, I feel like I never got to, in the last game, obviously my druid got killed relatively early on. So I feel like I never got to really get to the heart of a druid.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to play a druid again. Another one that looks really fun to me, just thematically wise, is a monk, but I really want to play it. So this time I'm playing chaotic good. I really want to play like a full-on lawful good monk, right? Like somebody who doesn't want anybody to die, who would actually get upset having to kill even bad guys, you know? So thematically, that's another character I was really playing on the fence with. With that being said, I'm having such a blast with Cacophonics. Man, he's such a fun character. I like so much enjoyment.
I was gonna say on the same token, like I want to do a lawful good character as well, but a paladin. Like being a like a spellcaster, I'm a spellcaster class, right? I would love to just swing at people and just like worry about the weapon damage and focus more on like I don't really know what paladin does, but I'm like I've seen like a lot of memes on TikTok and Instagram. Like paladin sounds cool. Just being that lawful good, like more so like a crusader lawful good. So not really getting mad when people get killed, but just like I will do anything and everything for my deity or whatever, and just like the end means justify the ends kind of deal, which I think would be really cool.
Yeah, I played a lawful good paladin in this other game, and I just played it like exactly like that, where just you could say he's blinded by what he believes, but it just creates some good content because everyone else is like, they're like, oh, let's let him go, and my guy's just like, no, he must die by the sword, and he'll
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
execute him. And they're like, why'd you do that? And he's just like, he was unjustly.
Yeah,
And it's just so it's good fun.
unclean.
The one that I really want to know, right? And somebody asked in the chat, has anybody played evil characters? And as we all know in our party,
Yeah,
we have at least one evil character. I'd love to know what Aquafina or what Expletive's thoughts are on Aquafina as an evil character.
Oh man, like playing an evil character is so hard for me. Whenever I play games, I play like the goodies for. I don't want to play the baddies. I want to play the goodies. When I play Sims, I keep them alive. I don't want to kill them or anything. So playing a chaotic evil is very outside of like my scope of thing. So it's something new for me. It's been fun. It's been interesting to try and kind of like remember that it's not me and my morals that I'm putting into this, it's the character. So I'm like, I don't want to like kill the guy. Well, you know, he has to. So like, what would the character do? Not what would I do? So it's kind of like just pushing that boundary, which
I can't.
which has been interesting and fun.
yeah.
Yeah, because last time I think my character last time we played was good. Was she lawful good or chaotic good? I can't actually remember now, but I know her alignment was good, not evil. So that was more something I was comfortable with. But this has been like a complete different thing. So yeah.
Well, what I love is it's kind of like creates an interesting narrative to like what in Aquafina's life turned her slowly down this path of but being a bit more evil, which I hope we start to get a little bit into. How about yourself, Vic? Would you say your characters, where do you think you stand? Are you good?
So
Little bit middle ground?
officially, I'm neutral, officially. But I probably will be like leaning more into evil just because I do have the background as criminal, and I guess all criminals are slightly evil. I'm definitely not criminal for good because I like stealing, even if I don't condone that in real life. But yeah, I probably see it going there. But because I joined the campaign like mid play, I probably would have rather done a spellcasting class, but I was just like, let's see where you guys are sort of set, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll do the rogue. But I'm really happy with the rogue. It's just if I was doing another campaign, I'd be like, oh, can I do spells? Just because I like spells. That's sort of what I like to do.
That's fair enough. Before we jump into, I think Vlad had a question, but this other campaign I played, I was playing a character who slowly became evil, and it got to the point where I was going against the party too much. So I said to the DM privately, I was like, hey, like, rather than killing off my character, like, you can take them over, and we won't tell the other players, and they'll become the next boss kind of thing. And I'll start a new character.
Oh,
And it was quite a fun little plot thing we did because all the players were like, what's happening? Because they just started controlling my character, and everyone was like, what the fuck? And it was quite a fun little
that's cool.
thing. So Expletive, if you ever want me to do that, let me know.
When I'm about to die, I must just make sure I have something prepared. Maybe I should do that now.
I'll just scrolling up. Vlad asked, how long does the initial setup take? How much time do you take to GM content week to week? So this story's pre-written, which is really nice. So some of the stuff, it's just reading the stuff in advance. So kind of when they enter a room, I'm not just like reading through all these pages of notes being like, oh crap, what happens in this room? It can just flow fluidly. So I usually like an hour before like sit down and just reread over everything. But if it's going to be a big session and I need to make maps, then I'll do like 2 hours before. and just like prep all the maps and everything. Because they don't have maps for everything, so some of them I make myself, some of them are already in there. And if I'm trying to do more time as well because I want to like do cutscenes for everyone's characters. So that's just extra time I put in. So all up a week, like 2 hours.
No, I love the maps. They're so fun.
Maps are good vibes.
Yep.
It makes or breaks it, right?
It makes it so much easier to like understand as well. Not only because Roll20 has like the ruler, so you know how far like your abilities can travel and if you're close enough, but it just sets the mood.
Mm-hmm. Especially this new one. This new one's looking real nice.
Yeah, I just found the other map was a little bit messy. So the other map's good for just traversing through the hexes, but this one's kind of good for just like a view of the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I can edit at any time, you know, which is kind of fun.
Mm.
And I guess everyone kind of gets into fantasy in different ways, but anyone wants to answer? It's just my own question. But what kind of got you into fantasy and then like got you interested in playing D&D?
So from my side, I've always been interested in tabletop gaming, right? I had never ever played it before about a year ago, just over a year ago. I've always wanted to play like D&D and all things like that. I've just never had the opportunity to play it. And then I had a friend tell me about what a commitment it is. Like you need to set aside this many hours and you have to be deadly committed. You can't miss a week. And it actually terrified me to a point that I was like, okay, I'm actually not interested in playing this.
Hello, everyone.
Then I got speaking to more and more people, and we started off with the campaign, and I was actually like, this is really cool, and I could start visualizing it. And then we played the last campaign with Ark, and I was like, man, I love this. This is just so much fun. You got this character. I like the battling. I like how everything went. So for me, it was just all downhill from there. And then I was like absolutely addicted. Got own dice now. Got like D&D like board games. So for me, it's just addiction from that point on.
Love it. Anyone else?
For me, fantasy wise, I think I got introduced by my dad watching Lord of the Rings, and so I always loved like battling and stuff. But as for D&D, I would say I think like in high school, I was hanging out with a bunch of nerds and they were all playing it, and I was like, "What are you nerds playing?" And I was like, and then I got interested in it, but I never actually found a group of people that were willing to set aside the time for it. And then I've always had the interest to actually start and try it. And so you guys showed up and I was like, "Hey, can I join?" And here I am in my first ever TTRPG campaign, enjoying the crap out of it. And yeah.
No, I love it.
That's moi.
X and Vic? If you don't have an answer, we can.
Oh, I
press
do,
on, but if you
X,
want
you
to,
can
yeah.
go first.
My story is the same as Insanity's. Like I've heard about D&D throughout my life, but never had an opportunity to play it. Never thought to ever research it. Never watched. I didn't even know or even think to look on Twitch to see like how people play D&D. I just didn't think of ever searching it up. And then opportunity came our way, and here we are.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of similar. Like I grew up with lots of fantasy, like the Dark Crystal and the Labyrinth, like those very D&D-esque films. And I heard about D&D just like over the years, and especially like oddly Stranger Things. The whole thing's basically centered around D&D. And I had also seen the YouTube Dropout D&D series, and I was like, oh, this is fun, like enjoyable. And then last year there was the first campaign that Archon put on Twitch, and that was great. So I was like, cool. And then Con was like, do you want to play? And I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
So I got a two-part question, yeah? Well, I've actually got two questions. First question was from Broke America. Has the group ever had random items come missing right when you need them. Secretly NPC rogue snuck its camp. I don't think that's happened to us yet, although we've had some very interesting NPCs do some very interesting things. Merv in the well getting pissed on.
Yeah.
Dashing Dawson, very interesting character, you know. So we've had some very interesting ones, but I don't think anybody's stolen our shit yet. And I'm hope you're not giving Archon ideas yet. That's all I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Oleg was pretty upset when they left, so maybe he took a creep's sake, you know?
He took it well. He took it well.
All our weapons are gone. Next time we fight, we got these fake weapons. And then I got a two-part question, yeah? So the 9th level D&D spell is Make a Wish. So your character gets to make a wish. What would, for each of the players, what would it be? What would that one wish be for each of the players?
Good question.
So this is as our characters, like we could make whatever wish and it'll just come true in game. Oh, that's nutty.
I know mine instantly. Instantly.
What's yours?
A winery.
Yeah. Lolu wants a winery. No, I think that's like the base level, what Lolu would like say in front of other people. But if she was alone, she would say to have her family proud of her.
That is so deep and so
Because
unexpected.
they'll never be proud of her.
Wow.
So it's a wish.
And then what I love is Vlad's like, how would Archon destroy your wish? And I'll just kill your family.
That's fine. At this point, Lolu probably wants them dead. So
that was the second part. I was going to wait for everybody to get through their wishes because the second part was
Sorry.
how would Archon destroy that wish and what's the consequences of making that wish? So you made that wish.
Con would destroy the winery business. He would make all of the grapes really sour, so nobody would buy the wine. But yeah, you'd probably just make sure the parents were never proud of me. Well, Lolu.
I'll probably make you marry Merv, and Merv would drink your winery dry.
Oh no, that would be a terrible punishment.
So I know Cacophonics. I mean, it's not hard. There's an establishment that's in one of the other lands called Joiners. It had Vivian, it had Tori, two of Kaladin's girls previously. And obviously Kaladin and Cacophonics got on very well and they talked about Joiners. Essentially, if Cacophonics had one wish, it would just be to have Joiners franchises in every single town across this whole planet, right? He would have franchises and he would have VIP membership status to all of them. That's his one goal. Please go easy on me, Archon. Go easy, bro.
Well, probably I'd let that happen, but then like your character's just like his chain's a single cause of super herpes, which destroys all the elves.
Wow.
They have a natural immunity to super herpes.
A better one.
I can live with that, I suppose.
I have a better one to make it horrible.
Oh yeah.
All of his children, they can be the people that work at Joiners.
Ooh.
Oh,
So you actually can't go in. That's
That is-
horrible.
That is
That's
the
horrible.
fuck is wrong with you, right? The fuck is wrong with you?
love it.
Chaotic evil. I think she's getting too influenced by this chaotic evil character.
Same.
This is who she is now.
It's done, guys. It's done. Too late. It's not going back.
It's the chaotic.
Honestly, I think my character would probably wish for like the death of the royal family. He's
Brevoy or
yeah of Brevoy, because he is just so infused with hatred for everything that they put like him through, and he would just like screw it and he'd just go for revenge. Like if he got a wish, he'd immediately go evil. He'd probably immediately go evil.
I love it.
He has a little bit of darkness in him.
I'd probably for that I'd probably do like a plot twist where like as they're like having their last breath, they'd say something like, just be like, Zarek, I'm so proud of you, son. And then he'd like die. And then you're like, fuck.
No. No.
Just make you do accidental patricide.
Yeah. Jeez.
It's a classic.
Aquafina?
Well, prior to this campaign starting, Aquafina would have, I don't know, like wished. She knows her father's dead, but like she would have wished to been able to have like just one day to kind of meet him and get to know about him and his life. But now she wishes to find her mother, dead or alive. Like she wants to find her mother, and that would be her wish. You know, where's her mom? What happened to her mom?
I'd probably make like Merv be your dad or something, and then you find him, but it's Merv.
Oh
I was
no.
both your mother and your father.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
I used a spell to summon you. You're not real. I was real
Oh.
wasted.
No, that's torture.
No. One genetically related to Merv, two not real.
So, another question. What is the funniest moment each player can recall happening? First thing come to mind.
Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
What is the funniest moment each player can recall happening? First thing to come to mind.
Ooh.
So I got an answer if you want to go first.
I got an answer too. Go
Best-
ahead.
Best thing ever. We're sitting there. The guys have found out that, so we're trying to get into this encampment, and this happened in this campaign, not so long ago even. We're trying to get into this fort, so we're pretending to be these delivery guys dropping off alcohol, and I roll badly, so they discover they're
Yeah.
like, this guy's dodgy. So they start like lining up their bows and start shooting at. My guy's out, he bolts it. Zarek, gamer medic, he's sitting there and he sits there still trying to politic to these guys. He's like, no, I'm gonna roll high, bro. He's trying to explain to these guys while they're shooting arrows at him. Like, no, guys, it's all misunderstanding. He's got like arrows in his chest. That was the best, bro. Like, no, guys, it's just a misunderstanding. Stop shooting at me.
Well, I tried my best. I mean, it ended up working. It ended up working out.
You didn't politic
In a roundabout way.
Run away.
That was pretty good. I would say the thing that probably made me laugh the hardest was like at first when we first met Claptrap was the 20 hey a day whole bit. That entire bit I was dying dying laughing. Just Oleg's character, he's just like at that moment I truly knew he was off his rocker and I was like, this guy's nuts. But I loved it. That was probably the funniest thing for me.
I'd say for me was it's like we wandering through the castle after all that stuff went down and we found like, you know, bodies and things all around, and there was some guy who we determined was still alive, and my character waterboards him because she figured that was the best way to wake this dude up, so she just blasts him with water, like a lot of water, so
Nearly drowns him.
nearly drowns the guy.
Wow.
Okay, well, I
And
guess
that's how it
it is.
started. Yeah, and that's how it started.
I don't know if it's like funny haha out loud, but I think it was one really funny when you let out the animal in the pen and the stag lord, just because how much it backfired on us. But the second thing that I thought was funny haha out loud, even though I did laugh at the time, was how many times J. Ethel almost died in that encounter. She almost died like 8 times. I was just like, J. Ethel, you should die. It's what needs to happen. I'm sorry.
How Archon kept like just like playing and her neck just falls out and then her part of her shoulder gets bitten off.
So
she tries
funny.
to stand up and she gets trampled.
Yeah.
Every time she's like about to get up and then she gets fucked up again.
Yeah, it was really funny. So
Oh man.
Hard to not, because my DM style is like I just love to like have a laugh, and I just like to think of these like characters in this world, but there's just these ridiculous personalities, but like it's just the day in the life of them, you know, which I really enjoy. And what I really enjoyed was like that first Oleg interaction, because for the first part, I was playing it pretty seriously, just so you guys could kind of get the feel of it. And all the characters were pretty normal, like for the most part anyway. They were like pretty normal interactions, and then like you guys just meet these guys, and then like Oleg's like you guys are trying to get him to not give away your position when you're trying to ambush those people, and they are just like making them be real like awkward, and you guys are just sitting there shitting yourselves. So I was never gonna make them actually like give away your position, but I just just really wanted to like make you guys be like, oh my god, these guys are the worst. And like it was just so fun to do that. I love that interaction as well, and just the I just love playing Oleg because I just make it be really random, and it always cracks me up every time.
In general, though, I do like interactions where like everyone else is, because my character, he sucks at fighting like a lot, but he's really good at trying to talk his way into or out of things, and so everyone else is ready to fight or run away. And every interaction, my guy's like, wait, guys, let's try and talk this out. And so just the difference of opinion where other people are trying to fight and I'm like trying to talk is just a very interesting dynamic. Especially when like we have to make a group decision and then we end up with things like the front of the gate where Cacophonics runs away and I'm trying to talk to them.
Oh, absolutely. Like, yeah, it's good. I guess a question similar to this would be from like playing, like starting it and playing a little bit now, like has it lived up to what you thought it would be like D&D, Pathfinder?
I can go. It's better than I thought it'd be. Like I said, I had experiences and I built up what it was like, but again, like I said, when I spoke to people, they made it very daunting, intimidating, like this, almost like this gated community kind of thing that you have to dedicate your soul to get into. And I found out that's not true at all, right? Like, yes, it is a bit of time commitment. Leveling up your characters is not this easy 5-minute thing. Understanding the game is a long learn thing. But I think we've got a really good group here, and I've learned a heck of a lot. There's a lot of reading, so it does have a little bit of time that you do need to invest. Every week we kind of get on here on Sunday and we play the game, things like this. There's a lot of stuff that happens before that, but it's not like this thing where if you don't go every week and you're just not going to enjoy it. It's not at all like it was painted. So for me, it's exceeded my expectation, and I absolutely, like I said, I'm addicted to it now, like to the point where I've started trying to make my own dice, and I just think it's so much fun, right? Like I love playing out the characters, right?
Make your own dice. Oh my goodness, the third nat 20. What the heck? Crazy.
It's only got 20s, all the size of 20s, right?
Honestly, it way exceeded my expectations. I was just like not sure. I was like, oh, I can't do a voice. I'm not sure how to role play very well or anything like that. And so like I was just like, I'm gonna suck at this. But then it's like once you have if you have a good group of people who are just willing to have fun, it makes it so much easier to play your character and so much easier just to just relax and have fun and just whatever happens. And I was telling someone earlier, it's like back when you're a kid and you're just playing pretend, it's like that except times 1,000, and everyone actually has a conscience and knows what they're doing kind of. And so it just makes everything so much better because you can kind of separate who you are and what you do with who your character is and what they would do, and it makes everything so much more fun for I think everyone involved, honestly, if you really play true to the character. And I think everyone does that pretty well.
Very nice. So Vic, anything to add?
Yeah, for me, I had no idea what to expect. I mean, Victoria mentioned Stranger Things. I had watched that before playing D&D, but I don't actually remember much about it. I've rewatched it now, but when we first started playing, I had no idea what to expect. When I first logged into Roll20, it was like, what on earth do I do? How do I know what to pick? And the first campaign we played, I ended up looking at the wrong edition. So that kind of just ruined my, what I had put in there was not actually allowed to be played. And it was just a bit overwhelming. But obviously, then I took a step back. I read through the thing I should have been reading through, and then it just all started making a lot more sense. So it's been a lot of fun, and yeah, I'd say it's lived up to what I had started picturing it to become.
No, I agree. It's made me really happy. It's really fun. I want to do it in person. I like Roll20. It's really useful, but I think I would enjoy it even more in person. So
I think in
In
person would be
person's great.
crazy. Yeah.
yeah.
I've often said this to you, Arkan, that I still really want to run or play a game in person. Where you actually roll the dice. Like this is fun, but I still that's my end goal is to have this in person, kind of session. That sounds like such a blast.
Mm.
Also,
Yeah,
while we're
well,
talking about it, sorry, shout out Baby Huns for
yeah, I was
making
about to say
things
that
easy,
actually. Yeah.
making things a lot easier for understanding how things work. Baby Huns has been incredible. Sad that he can't make it due to stupid Canadian time zones, but he's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Like honestly, the amount that I've learned from Baby Huns is crazy, right? Like I completely different. Like it's crazy how much that he taught us. So definitely a big shout out to him, but also shout out to our GM here, right? Like most of us when we started, we're like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
What is a character sheet? What do I do with this? And patiently, I think somehow he's. I don't know if you're drinking afterwards to make up for it, but you've got us there, right?
He's drinking during.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like the thing is like it's worth every investment, right? So I would rather take 2 hours out of my day to go through something with you guys if it enriches the experience, because then when we're doing the campaign, it's like it runs more fluid, it's more fun. Like with like Victoria, we just went through, we did like
Yeah.
some, and even with Game Medic, we did like a pretend fight and like
Yeah.
before even outside the session, just to kind of give an idea, just because it just helps and makes it a lot easier. Because otherwise, it's just ends up not being fun, and then that's when you don't have a fun experience, because you're like end up just sitting there, you don't really partake because you're like, oh, I don't want to stuff it up, or I don't want to like do the wrong thing. So it's like it's just worth putting the time aside for it. So I'm more than happy to do it.
Mm.
I've got another question here. If you could play a Gestalt character multi-class without any penalties, what combination would you
Ooh.
choose? That's a difficult one. I think I don't know all the characters and have played enough to know what I like. I think I'm going to go with the ones that I have played because I love both of them. And I would go a Bard Druid. That way I can like summon animals to fight in the front and then just buff them all up, bro. That to me sounds like a sick combo. Like,
Dude, that's
you summon all
crazy.
these animals and then just buff them all up and go fuck shit up. Go Raptors, fuck them up, bro. So
You could just be a hippie, like a Woodstock hippie Bard Druid. Like that's the best, like some musician that plays at Woodstock kind of deal. Oh,
that can control animals and summon
like you could,
animals.
yeah. Psychedelic
Have-
clothing, that'd be dope. I don't know. I'd like to try like a mixture of like a summoner and a barbarian. I think that would be really cool. Just like beating the crap out of things and then having a little guy that also beats the crap out of things simultaneously, and have a in Austin Powers a mini me. Just like summon a mini me version, like beating up the dude's ankles. Just a mini barbarian. I think that'd be fantastic. Stepping on his toes or something. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Love it.
Played with.
You're mute.
Am I muted?
Nah,
You're
you're
not
good.
muted now.
Hear me? Okay. I've never really played like a melee character, so probably something like that. But because I've never actually tried, I don't even know what I would try and mix up. But I prefer spellcasting and just being far away, in the shadows. No one can see me, kind of a thing. I don't want to be in the front there, but I think it would be quite interesting to try someone that is more on the front line.
Hmm.
Classes, I don't know. something like that.
Yeah, I'd have to be like probably a sorcerer just to switch it up. But I don't know about a second class. I'd have to think about it quite hard, see sort of like where the character goes, and then maybe decide a second class to go along with it to combine them two. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I already like struggle with one class though, so probably not in my future right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun classes. Like, I would kind of a spin on that question would be I would like to do something troll, like play like a rogue, but have the race like a Goliath or something. You know, so just this massive, huge unit who's just really, really stealthy and sneaky,
Mhm.
and it just be comical, you know.
Mm.
Something like that, or just do like a barbarian rogue. Just doesn't work and doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
but that's what makes it great.
Well, here's the other thing where it starts getting really intricate with D&D, right? And this is, again, you can choose your level you want to go at. So you can just go and
Yeah.
play a bard and pick, like what I'm doing now with Cacophonics. I'm not following any archetype. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just playing what I want to do. But if you want to, like, I can go and play a bard again and play him completely different, have none of the same spells, not even play the same style. Like, I can make this bard more like a ranger where he's more better at using bows and not really using spells. It's, you know, you can completely change how you play a character, right? And that's really on you. Like, this campaign, I'm literally picking spells on what's going to be the most character, like thematic wise, and what's going to be the most fun. Like, the last spell I got in my last level up is literally a spell where it insults people and that causes them to take damage. Like, I was like, bro, like, that's Cacophonics. You don't get more Cacophonics than that.
Yeah, true. True.
Got another question here. Are there any current NPCs that would be heartbreaking for them to be slain?
J. Ethel.
You knew that was coming?
Okay, listen, guys. When I'm telling you, I would probably leave the campaign if J. Ethel died.
All right, J. Ethel.
I would probably like have to take some time off.
J. Ethel's already dead.
I know.
J. Ethel's already dead.
Like, I was just telling Arkonx this. I would actually go undead for her. Like, my character would go undead for her if she was a redhead.
Well, I guess like within that question, for the people who don't maybe know some of the NPCs, maybe just give in your vision a quick summary of what the NPC is, kind of, and what it means to your character.
Yeah. So J. Ethel, in the eyes of my character, like, for me as a like the player Aaron or gamer medic, like, I know she's really sketch, but in the eyes of my character, she was the first person that like really kind of like clicked with him back in the very first episode in in Jumanji's mansion, and everyone was like kind of avoiding her, but because me and her were like standouts in his mind, he was like, oh, we're gonna be friends, and then they ended up being friends. And so he was like, I'm gonna die for this girl, and she's been just because, I guess, flukes, like roll of the dice, we've really gelled. And so it might not be reciprocated, but Zarek is like full on just like ride or die for J. Ethel. And so and then now, like, for me, being sad for my character, if J. Ethel were to die, we'd probably have some issues. We'd have some issues. But yeah.
Like, I don't want her to die because I put a lot of work into setting her up, and I love the spell she has, but that's out of my control. Like, she nearly dies. Like,
I know.
she was so close.
I was trying to think of like how Zarek would react if he came like around that corner and actually saw her dead. I was trying to think of like how he would react.
It would have
But
been beautiful though. Like,
we didn't have to worry about that. It was good times.
Most heartbreaking would be the Kobold Queen. Not because I have any affiliation to it, because she's carrying Cacophonics' baby.
Bro.
Because I want to
We
see
don't know if it's mine yet.
It's
Yeah,
yours.
she's
Face it.
just pregnant. She's just pregnant.
It just so happens to be anyway. So I want to see what happens, and I'm feeling this like chaos. It's just like,
Mm,
so
mm.
when's the baby coming? How much longer? Kind of a thing. And yeah, it's gonna be great. I really hope nothing happens to them.
Yeah, I hope
protect her.
I hope the same.
We'll protect her. We'll make sure she stays protected. Her and the
Yeah.
king won't stay protected. The rest, whatever. But like her and the king will be my main priorities to keep alive, just because I need to see what unfolds.
You need to see the baby. You
Yeah.
need to have a little
Baby
party
shower.
for the baby. Yeah, baby shower.
You know what's the sad thing? I actually Googled anatomically, can a kobold and a human have a baby in the can? So
Oh my
God.
it's not even unrealistic. There is actually references to kobold and human, like children. So I'm like, oh
No.
shit.
See, there we go. So I expect full-on baby shower. Gonna do it. We've got our little castle now, so gonna happen.
I honestly thought you were going to say claptrap.
I'm not giving ideas to the claptrap. Come on, you see, claptrap, everybody.
Claptrap.
Claptrap, like just please, can't give Archon ideas. If you kill claptrap, there will be riots.
Campaign's over.
Yeah, I love Claptrap. I didn't expect him to be popular, but there you have it.
So for me, ironically, the character that I think Cacophonics would generally be most upset about losing is Svetlana. Like,
Oh,
Oh.
just because he always rolls high performance with her, like
true.
always.
True.
And that chick is into some freaky shit, right? Like, I mean, it's been Cacophonics and Oleg, Cacophonics and Lindsay and Svetlana, and she's just always been a trooper for all of that shit, right? Like, so, she a freak. So I think he would be most upset if something happens to Svetlana.
He's down
What
for it all.
It'd be really funny is that I have the game Giant Slayer because it's on Steam. You can play the campaign. And like just go see you guys seeing these characters and then just being nothing like the way I've made them, and you're just like, there's an option here to flirt with her. Like what? Like, very good. What about you, Vico?
I might be a controversial answer, but Oleg.
Whoa.
I think just because he's kind of integral to all of our lives in the campaign, and I kind of love all the hay. The hay sets the scene. Also, Oleg has provided Lolu with a lot of steaks. Let me into the bar. I'm banned from a lot of bars, so I was appreciative. I like Oleg. I'd be sad if Oleg died.
Yeah, and Oleg and Svetlana are basically they own a trading hub, which a lot of adventurers go through. And before you guys, for the chat who might not have seen, they kind of initially there to just kind of have a base of operations before you start your own kingdom, be able to buy and sell items. But we just really fell in love with them as characters.
Got to go see them after every adventure.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're honestly like the friends that when we finish something, we're like, we want to go tell them how we did. Like,
We want them to know.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll say.
Oleg's reaction was heartbreaking, dude. It literally was heartbreaking. Like, I was so sad when Oleg's like, you guys are leaving? You going? And he was so broken. I was like, fine, we'll stay. We don't need to start a kingdom. We'll just stay right here forever.
Literally during that interaction, I switched over on my other monitor to Chat GPT. I was like, if I was trying to break up with a tavern owner, write me a speech to minimize hurt feelings. And I just like read it word for word for Oleg.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Next
that's what I thought
up-
it'll be. Oh, sorry, you go.
Well, I've got next question. What NPC do you secretly want slain to the other side of this coin?
Oh.
J-Ethel, just for the drama. For the drama.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Just
Are you
For
actually?
the drama. For the drama. Be
Yeah, there'd be
exciting.
drama. I'll tell you, there'd be drama. There
Yeah.
would be. Not. Oh, I
For
tell
the drama.
you. Wow. I feel betrayed. Personally
I
betrayed.
like
now.
J-Ethel though. I like
Yeah.
J-Ethel though. but it'd just be real dramatic.
So my first thought was exactly the same, but not for the drama. Just because I don't trust this bitch. She's like some
Oh my
demon
God.
worshipping, demon lord
Not
worshipping.
wrong.
I'm like fucking. I don't want this bitch with me, bro. Like, and she always
Not
does these
wrong.
sus things as well. Like she does these really sus things. So when it said which NPC, I'm like, I was not mad at all when she was dying. That's why I was like, oh, she's getting tramped on.
Oh
Oh
no.
no. Oh no, I've only got one more healing spell. I can't use it on her.
Yeah, I have to use it on Lolu. Sorry.
Wow.
I like Jay Lethal.
Yeah, I like Jethel.
solid.
It would be entertaining if she died.
it would be heartbreaking, not entertaining at all.
That's why it's entertaining. It would push your character to new heights.
Or to do lows.
Well, evil is a new height, in my opinion. So go on revenge arc for Jethel.
Honestly, I think my character would go from neutral good to like immediately lawful evil.
Maybe, but that would be good.
Wow. I don't even know
Who
how
are
to
you
respond.
killing?
Now I just want to say Svetlana. Now I just want to see just out of spite, but really, like, she wouldn't. I don't actually care if she lives or dies. She's nothing.
She gives us steak.
Honestly, Claptrap. I love Claptrap. No, I love Claptrap, but I want to see Oleg's reaction if like Claptrap has like a heart attack due to all of the hay or something, or just gets like
Actually, true.
morbidly obese and has like a stroke. But like,
that is the darkest shit ever, bro. You want Claptrap to die? Like,
But
what is
Oleg
wrong
would
with
be
you?
cut up. It would give Oleg
No,
a sad story.
like Oleg would have his like Darth Vader arc right there. Like that's his. He'd immediately become a villain. I think that would be. You want to talk about drama? That would cause drama.
Well, you know how I probably would actually play that scene.
Oh no.
Is what I'd probably do just to like make it really difficult for you guys. Is I would have him not realize he's dead, and he's just like all this haze just building up in the stable, and what you guys are gonna have to explain to him. He's like, you're like, he's gone. No, he's in the barn.
hay. He's in the hay.
He's just here. All these flies, I don't know where they've come from. All these flies seem to be in the stable, and it smells of rotting meat. But I only feed him hay, and I'm very confused.
No.
Bro, I can't believe you want Claptrap dead, bro.
What was the question?
What is wrong with you?
What was the question? Secretly, and I'm just secretly, low key. It would be cool, like just story wise.
Well, maybe you guys can secret thing you guys can do. You can use your hero points to secretly DM me when NPC you want to secretly be slain.
Oh
no! No.
How many do people have? We could get Jethel out real quick.
Great ideas. Very good.
Can I change all my spells? Find some like mind reading spells so I can secretly read mind and know that he wants Claptrap dead, so we can
take away Claptrap.
And get rid of this character.
True. Yeah, if you kill Claptrap, it's over.
Waterboarding action going on. Why are you killing your teammates? He wants Claptrap dead. Do you have proof? I mind read it.
I saw it in my mind.
I love that. Question, I guess, for your characters. What made your character get into adventuring, and were they doing anything else before the adventure life?
I want to hear Cacophonics. Who is he into?
Yeah, so Cacophonics essentially, right? Like I said, he's got this spirit that follows him, and ever since he's been little, he believes he's destined for royalty. And what actually started happening is he started adventuring with other parties, and he was singing these songs, but he hated singing these songs about other people. He hated other people being the heroes of the story, right? And that's why he wanted to go out and be his own hero, right? He wanted to be like this leader, and then he sings about himself. So if you've noticed, he's very egotistical. So he always sings about himself, right? Like his end goal though is that he becomes like this noble that's everybody knows throughout the land and everybody adores. He's got fans everywhere. That's his whole thing, right? He wants to be this absolute amazing like bard, known everyone, everybody loves him, right? And that's why he's so blinded that like even if you tell him, dude, you're singing shit, he will not even hear it. He'll be like, oh, my adoring fan, you love my singing, right? Because he's just so blinded by that notion, right? So him adventuring is really, he just doesn't want other people to take the claim. And there was even that time that he was going to run away and then sing about how he was the only survivor and he had a weak party and things like that, right? Just to kind of show you who he is.
I get you. Something that you guys are gonna find out just now because it'll help me answer the question. But Zarek just came out of his boarding school, like university boarding school, with his brood. So lizards and dragons give birth in broods, in my mind. So he has multiple identical siblings, and so they all just finished their universities, and after that their parents don't give them any more money and just spread them all over, just as far away from each other as possible, just to get them out of their sight. And so he is now fueled with just trying to figure out how to get some honor for himself, and that's what got him into it, and that's what he was doing before.
X, do you want to go?
Just like spaced out there for a second. Okay, so my character was living out, in the wild with her little community, and one day her mother disappeared, So she's frantic because it's not something that her mother would do. And of course, over her life, they had run into fighting with other creatures and trying to keep themselves as a community protected. They kind of were exiled from society. So having her mother just like completely gone and no one can say what happened to the mom, very unsettling. So she's now gone out on this adventure to try and find answers. Where's her mom? She wants to know about where she's come from, her lineage, her family. Like, why has her whole life been like really protected? Why has she been protected her whole life, and like the truth being protected from her and never allowed to know anything about stuff, just what she was told by her mother and the community that she grew up with.
No, that's really, really good. Mine pales in comparison. Lolu sort of came from a background of criminal parents, criminal family, criminal siblings. And she sort of decided to take up stealing, which the family sees as quite like a low-level crime in comparison to all of that you could do. So she decided to sort of leave home after intense years of bullying and depression. It's very
Jeez.
sad.
All your characters being
Jeez.
bullied.
Oh, no, that's
I don't know, Con. Maybe I'm bullied all the time by people who I'm friends with.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, okay. No, and then yeah, she finds joy in alcohol, which is sad, but it's what makes her happy. So she's happy, and she enjoys the adventures when she was stealing on her own, but she is happy that she is finding some new friends, so she's not lonely,
Nice.
and she has people to drink with. Let's go.
I got another question, yeah?
Yep.
What are some character fears?
Oh. Death.
Well, I'm not going to say.
And being poor. Lolu does not want to be poor.
That your own fear as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to say mine because then Arkon's going to make it happen. That's sad.
No.
No, I would never do this. Is for just good chance to get to know your characters. I would never change anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'd say Aquafina's fear is that her mom did die. So she just, although she wants to find out what happened to her mom, if it so happens that her mom perished, then so be it. But that is her fear that she did, and she's still left with all these answers about her life and literally doesn't know who to turn to for help. So, yeah.
I would say that for Zarek, just due to his very minimal contact with friends, his biggest fear would that be like any of the party and like people he's close to dying. Especially unfortunately Cacophonics, just because like he hates him. It's one of those like relationships where he hates him, but he like loves him also, just due to his confidence. And so like he'll probably never like really show it, but deep down, if like Cacophonics goes, he's gonna be upset for sure.
So initially when I heard this question, I thought, okay, this is a difficult one. But then I thought about it, and I thought about it quite quick and easily. Cacophonics' greatest fear, and you guys would have seen this. Think about the only time you guys have really seen Cacophonics sweating and terrified.
Oh, with the Cobalt Queen.
When we were in the King Queen.
Cacophonics' current biggest fear is that that's his baby, and he's literally gonna cause like the genocide of a race just because he banged this lady, which he did not know was the queen at the time. Like, or this thing, right?
I honestly thought it was a bit. I was really hoping it was a bit by Archon, and then it was like, "Is this really the queen?" He's like, "Yup." I'm like, "Oh
Well,
no!"
it started as a bit, but then like the reactions were so good, I was like, all right, this is canon.
Oh darn!
Same as the hay thing as well, you know. All of it starts as bits. I'm like, actually, this is just too funny.
Another question here, and this is one that I would honestly love to get Archon's opinion on, right? I think I kind of have a good idea, but I'd love to see what Archon's opinion is. So the party is cursed with the Kingsman Part 1 type attack. They suddenly begin violently attacking each other. Who's the lone survivor?
Oh.
Ooh.
Good question.
I'm saying me, personally.
I was gonna say Lolu.
I was gonna say Lolu.
Personally. Yeah.
I was gonna say Lolu.
It's just who I am.
Is this like considering our current levels? Well,
Yep. So right now, our guys had to fight, right? Like something happened, they went mad and they had to fight.
yeah.
Who would win that?
Honestly,
I'd love to hear Archon's opinion on this.
I think it was either Lolu or me, just because I haven't shown you my new spell yet, but yeah.
Yeah, I would probably go. I think first to die would be Cacophonics.
Sorry.
Just if everyone was all out, you know, all a free for all, I think Cacophonics, you know, does well with playing off his allies. Like that's just the bard, right? I think Aquafina can dish out a lot of damage, but with weak HP, if Lolu gets up in there, then she can kind of take her out. So it would probably come between. There's the advantage of you'd have to go through the Eidolon first, but I would probably say Lolu.
Yeah.
I think we just know everyone's weaknesses. Like, if I had to think about it, I would just slash Cacophonics' throat. Can't speak, can't use any spells. Cut off Aquafina's arms, can't use hands.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Being a butcher.
Just who I am as a person.
Sculpting
Just-
people.
With that
thinking.
being said, though, like I kind of do rates similar in my mind because my guys design more for support, right? although, like I said, I do have a lot of making sure he survives as well. So I do have a lot of survivability, like with mirror image, and I've got the telekinetic ram, which actually pushes people away. So Lolu's distance can get negated by things like that. So I've got a lot of survivability spells, right? But my guy is more focused on healing, buffing up the rest of the party, and things like that. So he wouldn't necessarily be doing a lot of damage as such, but he does have a lot of survivability. So he'll be able to run, I think. I think he'll be able to get out of there.
I don't know, man. I think if Cacophonics started running, like there'd be a temporary alliance and everyone would just gun for you. I'm pretty sure. Like, oh, this man's running? Nah, not from us.
True. Love it. Good question.
Follow-on question. So who would you attack first in that scenario?
Who
I don't know.
would we choose, like our character? Because I think my character
Your
would probably
character.
probably Aquafina.
Me, oh, but
Aw.
I'm so sweet and innocent.
So sweet.
I'd probably pick Lolu because I know she'd fuck me up.
Whoa,
The
whoa,
thing is,
whoa.
like, because you're a cat, I can't hurt you.
Yeah, who
Like,
wants to hurt the cat, guys? Nobody wants to hurt the cat.
I won't be like. If we're saying that we're blind with rage, I would probably attack you first. But if
Mm.
we're not to that point, I would feel bad because I wouldn't want to hurt you because you're a cat. So I'd probably attack one of the other two, depending on what they're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll make it really nice when I murder you.
Thank you. It'd be great to make it quick. You know, just one.
Yeah,
hit.
1, 2.
Just one. Just one. just roll a 20. Just destroy me.
Easy. Done. Yeah, it would depend on who I'm like close to on the map and like,
Yeah.
you know, I'd probably go for whoever's closest. Do some little jet throwing knives.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Kill without any thought, just kill.
Yeah, exactly. Lulu's ready for any smoke from
True.
anyone.
Ain't
So from my
nobody
side,
adding me.
100% to what I was saying earlier, Cacophonics wouldn't. He wouldn't try and kill anybody. He would mirror image, he would kinetic ram, and he'd be the fuck out of there, bro. That's who he is. Like, you know, and then he'll tell the story of how these people went mad and killed each other. He tried to save them, but that's who he is, right? Like
I think literally blind with rage, that would still be what he'd do. He'd be just like running away, just fuming mad. Like, these guys, I hate them all. This is so
fuck these guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill them all. I'm gonna kill them all.
Yeah. I'll show
Wow.
them one of
Wait,
these
guys,
days.
he's running away. So
He's
like,
going
I'm
away, so time to chase after him.
Yeah.
back. If we're dying, if we're doing this, we're all in it. No running away.
Oh man.
Not very good. What is your character's current goal summed up in one sentence? Like, what's their, like, you know, what's giving them purpose? What's their current trajectory, you know?
In this part of our campaign, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think Cacophonics is easy. He just wants to be the most famous bard that ever lived.
True.
I'd say for me, other than of course fighting my mom, it's understanding my true power and what I actually can do as I'm growing as a sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unlocking so many cool spells, and I just want to learn them all and use them all. And
Appreciate the question.
and just
Sorry.
like, oh no, it's okay. And just yeah, she wants to really learn her true power, what she can do, and like push her limits.
Mm.
I would say definitely my character's goal right now is to become the unquestioned ruler of the kingdom of D's, like by any means necessary. Just because like that's his goal to begin with, is to be recognized as a ruler, and so now that the kingdom has started, that's his goal from now on until it happens. Unfortunately.
Very sad.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
I think it's probably getting as much money as possible through all of these adventures, and also building up the army for the kingdom. Because I'm the war general. That's important to me.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Because if I have the army, and then
Yeah.
if anything goes wrong, well, they're gonna follow me. They're not gonna follow you.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Nice democracy.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Broke American with a final question. What do you all dread fighting against?
I have an NPC that we've already beaten that I did not like, and that was the Ceiling Man at the
Oh.
beginning of the Stag Lord encounter because I hated him. He
I'm
was
so
creepy.
glad I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, he was disgusting.
That was fucking creepy, dude, crawling on the ceiling. Oh.
Yeah, so I don't want to see him again or anyone like him.
That's good though.
Honestly-
That means I'm doing my job right. If you're being creeped out by them.
Yeah, it reminded me of somebody in my personal life.
What?
So,
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I've never
Wow.
crawled on your ceiling, Vic. Come on.
Sorry for bringing it up on Twitch, but it had to be done.
Someone needs to get a restraining order. Jeez.
We're working on it.
Honestly, the thing I'm most terrified, and this is just because it's what killed my last character, is the shade, is that kind of shade character. Because like they're so difficult to kill, like your bows and that are pretty useless. So that's what killed my last character in the last campaign, and I'm kind of scared of running into one again. Although I think I'm better prepared this time. They've got a lot of immunities, a lot of resistances as well. So that's the thing I'm most scared of is a kind of shade character. I forgot exactly what it was, but it's that like shadow creature kind
It's
of
a
thing.
shadow creature. That was fun as well because that was an optional dungeon.
I was so pissed off when I found out that it was optional.
I definitely say like a single thing, definitely J Ethel. I actually like dread like Insanity, not even Cacophonics, but Insanity keeps mentioning how like, oh, she's gonna turn her back on us and like we're gonna have to end up fighting her. She's bad. I'm like, I'm so scared that that's actually true and we actually have to fight her, and I'm not looking forward to that. But other than that, like anything, definitely like anything dragony, I think my character would have a tough time like actually fighting, just because he has a strong affinity towards dragons as well. And so I think I would be scared to fight dragons as well. And they're super powerful, so yeah.
All right, I have a question. If we do have to fight JFL, are you going to do it? Or are you going to be a conscientious objector and not do it?
No, I can guarantee my character won't do it.
So you're going to get kicked out of the party.
I'm pretty sure, depending on like what leads up to it, I'm pretty sure my character would like rather side with JFL.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if
Interesting.
Depending on what
Even
led up to it,
brought us into like clear death, and JFL was like, I never liked you. I've always hated you. This was my entire plan from the beginning. I was always going to betray you. You're still going to be with JFL.
No, definitely
I've got
not.
lots to write down here.
Definitely not. Like I think if that was to happen, like Zarek would be heartbroken and would have to like fight for his friends. But like if it just so happened, or my character was like convinced that Jaethel was even in the least bit right, he'd probably side with Jaethel.
Interesting.
You know what I hate most about this Q&A is the look on Arkon's face, bro. He's getting way too happy. Like, I hate it. Like, he's just like, oh, you don't say, dude.
Nah, this is a safe space.
Yeah, it's so safe.
Yeah, it's so safe.
I haven't read ahead. I don't know what happens with her.
Yes, you do.
So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
I'm actually really scared for that though.
Pretty strong.
Because that's why I'm trying to be as nice and as like gain as much like relationship with her as possible. So hopefully, even if she was to turn on us, we could be like, hey, don't.
Hey, please.
Yeah, and she'd be fine.
Well, that's why I liked that scene they had together where she explains that like by healing and doing good things, she's distancing herself from a god, and rather than you being like, maybe being like, oh, why don't you find a new god? You're kind of just like, oh, what do you need to do? And she's like, oh, I need to like kill people and like, damn their souls to an undead life. And you're like, yeah, well, let's do that. Actually, real supportive.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's kill him.
Yeah, like, oh well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
X, did we get an answer from you on that one?
Heartbreaking. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when I let that owlbear out of its cage, I honestly thought it was gonna like either help us or not hurt us as much as it did. Like realize, hey, we're fighting the bad guy. Or I thought maybe he would just go away or something. But no, it decided to hurt us, and it hurt me having to hurt the owlbear. So I guess my fear came true. I had to fight the owlbear, and it's so cute.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
So secondary to a shade creature, I'm also damn terrified of Lady Jamandi. Is it Lady Jamandi?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that chick
Yeah.
stands, bro.
Yeah. That's a fight I'd run away from immediately. That's a fight that I'm not even gonna bother getting in. Actually, I do have a question though. Like, Archon, when Aquafina let loose the owlbear, was it like doomed to attack us, or was that a personal choice?
Yes and no. Like it depends how it would have happened. Like if you'd kind of opened the door, I think that the main problem is like where you guys were positioned. So like X had the right idea when she was like, I'm gonna lead it out.
Mhm.
But Cacophonics was standing right in the way, and then you had the Stag Lord coming out to fight you guys. So you kind of like, let's say you guys killed the Stag Lord, all stood back and opened the gate, it probably would have run away
Oh, okay.
because there was no one standing in the way. But like, there was people in the way. It was in the middle of combat. It's frightened. There's still people dying around it, and it was kind of
It was a chaotic scene.
It was a chaotic scene, as you can imagine, for like an animal. But yeah, by all means, if it had it definitely the way it describes is just like when they open the gate, if it sees the Stag Lord, it will instantly attack him. But it will, if threatened, it will defend itself. Is basically the words in the text.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was captured. It wasn't his pet.
Yeah, no, it wasn't his pet. It was captured.
Oh no.
Which is why when he because he's a drunkard, right? He was like, oh, this is my pet. That's why when he went up behind, he was like, yeah, attack them, and then it turned on him and like ended up ripping out his spine.
Yeah, decapitating
and
him.
And it probably looked like I was helping you guys, but that's literally written in the text.
Okay, because that was what I was leading at. I was like, this man, so it was all me in the end. It was all my big brain. I was like, I'm gonna lead the Stag Lord out. You guys are all welcome. We would all have been dead. Just saying.
If the bird hadn't been out, we would have been dead. Well, maybe Cacophonics would have run away, but the bird is there.
The bird was there.
The bird did more damage than the Stag Lord did, right? Like he was the one that did the most damage. If the bird wasn't out, we could have easily taken the Stag Lord, right? Like
Birdie died for nothing, and the bird almost killed Jathal and would have realized, I guess, a lot of our secret desires to see what happens.
I mean, everything happens for a reason, guys.
Just quickly on that question though, people I dread fighting against is myself.
Yeah, honestly, you just roll too good against yourself.
Yeah, I dread it every time. Whenever you guys are like, oh, bring your NPC, I'm like, oh fuck. Here we go.
I'm bringing J Ethel everywhere. I hope you know.
That's
Bring
fine.
your
Have
Till
to-
she dies.
If I'm gonna have to kill her off, I mean, yeah, sure.
No, 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 no.
See, I've got that same relationship. I could bring Lindsay into battle, but I'm like, I ain't risking it, bro. I don't want to lose
You have
Lindsay,
no
right?
relationship with Lindsay. You talked to
No, I
her
do.
maybe twice.
I've got a really high relationship with Lindsay.
She
We've
doesn't
had
even know
to-
your name anymore.
We had to leave the room so they could work on that high relationship, okay?
Yeah,
As
a
well
real
as
high
you guys
relationship.
On the floor and claptrap stable.
Bro, did you not see in the last session? It basically ended with me, Lindsay, and Svetlana in the bedroom together, bro.
Wait,
We're
really?
Like, really? Lindsay's the other bard.
Oh shoot!
She's-
I knew
I've got
she
a
was
high
the other bard.
relationship with
I
her.
didn't realize they were like that though.
Oh, they are like that.
Oh wow.
She
all-
literally
all
like
bards are
praises my
horny.
feet.
Are they gonna make little bard
All
babies that
bards
are
are
gonna
horny.
sing instead of like babies crying stuff? Are they gonna like sing?
Can we just make
Mommy.
Cacophonics like super virile and like everyone he has sex with immediately gets pregnant? just
You should just roll the dice, like
roll a die.
So I got a question here. What's your party's actual goal? What are you all together for? My answer to that is I think each of us has our own goal and we're using the party as a means to the end. So the
Oh,
goal for the party right now is to build this kingdom and found this kingdom, but I think each of us has their own goal. As we've kind of talked about, we've kind of mentioned that each of us has our own kind of end game that we're trying to get to, right?
Yeah, I would say like there's no real like a winning scenario for the party. It's an individual, like if I meet this checkbox, I win, and if Insanity meets a certain checkbox, he wins. But we're using this party mechanic to our favor, like we're all heading in a general same direction, and then using each other and just like the pooled resources and relationships to our own ends, I guess. But building the kingdom, I guess, is the party's prerogative as a whole, as a unit.
Very good.
And we've done a pretty good, I mean, we just started, but I think we've done a pretty good job so far. So,
Yeah, I think so. I think you guys have, settled the green belt well. You solved things. Like even like I
Mhm.
didn't actually think I didn't expect you guys to go back and resolve the zombie in the river at Needles Crossing. I thought you were just gonna forget or leave it, and I thought that was really cool that you guys actually went back, and I thought that was actually quite a nice, like, noble thing to do. So I think you guys definitely like resolving stuff and setting the tone nicely for the green belt or your future kingdom kind of thing.
I'd like to say that, just for the chat, that when we met that zombie at the river, everyone else wanted to immediately either run away or attack him. I was the only
Right.
one that wanted to
Um,
talk to him.
I wanted to be his friend.
Hmm.
I didn't want to kill him. I was just like, yo, what's up? Hello.
I'm pretty sure if I go back to the VOD, you're like, can I waterboard him?
I wanted to be his friend after she said that, okay? I legitimately wanted to ask him more questions, but then after we gave him Staglord's head or whatever it was that we gave
He
him,
just
he was
faded
like,
away. Yeah,
and it's like, no, wait, I have questions for you.
like that one meme. Just
So I got a great question, and I feel like we need to do this because I know we haven't, right? So Break America is Loki's drawn back to a question based on conversation sex in this game, right? Did you all roll for banana size, stamina, and constitution? Now, we never rolled. It's kind of implied because Cacophonics does performance rolls every time and he always hits it. I think he's hit it low like once. So it's kind of implied that Cacophonics has got something going on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a valid roll.
I think,
I
yeah.
think that's something he should roll for.
roll.
How
Oh,
gifted is Cacophonics?
True.
He doesn't have a package. He has the whole delivery system. And this man's ready to
So
go.
what dice are we using to roll? D20. What's he rolling? Let's see.
D20, D20.
Let's go.
We can do a separate character sheet for your piece.
A whole character sheet.
What was it? I bet you rolled the one.
Oh, we got two.
That doesn't count. It doesn't count. It was a 3.
Oh.
Count the rigged dice.
20 minus 3, 17. Let's go. But
No,
that's actually.
that's where you go, X.
I was gonna say that's a good question. Like, the ladies, are they satisfied? Have you been rolling performance? I can't remember. Do you roll performance? Okay.
I've literally rolled performance every single time. Like often I'll even just drop it in chat, even when like other things are happening in the background. I'll drop a performance roll, and I think there's only been one time that I actually rolled low on performance. Obviously, in Cacophonics sex game, he's very good at performance. Whenever he actually needs to use performance, like when he's trying to convince people he's a smuggler, he sucks, bro. So he's only good at that.
Single mind, single talent.
Arkham builds world lore, NPCs, and more. His players. I want to roll penis size.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of, I've actually got this question here. Do your characters ever want to settle down, and have they ever been in love, or are they in love with anyone, or have even a relationship?
Ooh.
Ooh. I want to hear Lolu. I want to hear Lolu's side.
Lolu has not been in love. Very sad.
Poor
Very
guy.
not poggies. I would not be mad if there's an NPC that Lolu wants. Don't think there's anyone in the fray right now, unless Svetlana and Oleg divorce, because I think she'd probably see Oleg as a really big money-making source.
Dang.
Because of the trading hub. But I think she'd be down. I try not think about the implications of a catfolk and a human too much. But I mean, we all have Discord kittens, so really, what's the difference?
So Cacophonics is very easy to answer this one. Has he ever been in love? Does he ever want to settle down? Settle down? No. In love? Absolutely. Cacophonics is 100% in love with himself. There's no room for anybody else. He is narcissistic incarnate, right? You know, there's no room. He's in love with himself. He's 100% in love with himself. There's no room for anybody else in that heart, right? So he's just gonna go sleep around. He doesn't do this like one-on-one thing. And just to raise a point, he doesn't only flirt with the female characters. He flirts with all your characters, right?
Well, yeah, you did have a orgy with Oleg and Svetlana.
Legit. Like,
yeah.
Oleg walked in and he's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you got it warmed up for me," and like
Ugh.
joined in. And my guy's
He was like,
"Yeah, but
you're getting the first piece of hay today.
Oh.
Yum.
I do not remember that. That's a meme.
And he's like, yeah, he's like, let's have a conversation in your barn.
Nice.
Jeez.
But that did happen though. They did actually have a. I think it was during all this other chaos, and I think we more did it. We would just while you guys were talking, me and Sandy were just moving the characters into the room.
oh no, I had to roll for stealth, and I failed the stealth roll.
Oh, yeah.
Roll, so Oleg actually like he heard. He's like, "What's the noise going on?" And he's like, "Okay, well, thank you. I'll join in."
Yeah, why is Svetlana clipping? She's not allowed to clip after 9 p.m.
Exactly. That's exactly it, right?
Amazing.
Genius.
So I'm gonna ask this question slightly different, right? But the question was for the ladies: are there period cycles? Now,
No. We don't even go to the bathroom. So,
Oh, where's the toilet?
has anyone ever rolled like a performance check if you don't fall into the toilet? No. So none of us have periods. So
There you go.
I was gonna say, what is the possibility of rolling like a PMS roll?
if you want, I can roleplay that, but I don't think any of you are gonna enjoy it. So.
I'm just thinking your character gets like a plus bonus to attack when it's
A
when you
bonus
roll.
it'd be a
No, like
really
a
bad.
like you know the way Barbarian enrages before he fights and gets so angry, like you can enrage as well. Just
It would be a condition. It would impact a lot. It would impact my acrobatics. I couldn't jump as much. You know?
Well, the problem is then every single my female monsters are gonna be getting that +1 bonus. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
True.
Well, only if they roll, right? Only if it's that time.
It always will be.
It's always that time.
Was the party given a land in order to build the kingdom, or is it kind of divide and conquer? No. So we cleared out a whole bunch of like the hexagons, so they're shapes where you can kind of it's like a area of land, right? So we cleared out a bunch of places, and then we could choose one of them to make as our like home base or where we're going to build our kingdom. And essentially, correct me if I'm wrong here, but essentially we chose to use the fort where we fought the Stag Lord. We chose that, and each one of those kind of places would have had a different bonus, right? So this one, I think,
Correct.
got a community hall.
Yes, you
from
got
building
a
that.
town hall kind of thing. Yeah, and the map's actually the map I made is on the Roll20 now. If you did want to show, but yeah, you had like a couple of different areas. And yeah, they all would have had different perks, like the swamp village with the frogman would have given you like housing.
I'll drop the image of the map in the Discord as well for anybody that wants to go and look afterwards. I'll drop all the images and stuff that you give in the Discord, so you can just go check it out.
Good stuff.
Good idea. I've got one here. Which other player characters, so what other characters, does your character find themselves having the most in common with?
Jade is cool. She's badass. No, I think she has a lot of powerful spells, and I've seen so much she can do, and it's just inspired Aquafina. She really wants to learn more, even though it would be different kinds of spells. She just wants to learn more about like controlling power and just how to be awesome like that.
Love it.
Is this PC and NPC, right?
Yeah, either or. Like, so obviously you might have characters who you personally like more, but it's more like who does your character like have and feel like they have stuff in common with?
Honestly, this is going to be the biggest controversy, but it's Xaric, 100% Xaric. Like, Cacophonics and Xaric are always at each other's throats, but it's because they're so similar. Both of them are these outcasts. Both of them have similar brings. Both of them want to be these rulers. And it's because their commonality that they kind of so at each other's throats, right? And that's why they always be like vying for like talking as lead and things like that, right? So I think in terms of commonality, things that they have in common is definitely Cacophonics and Xaric. I think the reason why they butt heads is because they're actually so damn similar. I mean, yes, Cacophonics is a mage man whore, which is different, but other than that, they are actually very similar. And they're both casters. They both focus on kind of similar combat styles, right? So
I was gonna say the exact same. I was like, unfortunately, it would have to be Cacophonics for Xaric as well. It's like they're just literally the same, like similar motives, similar like style of wanting to do things, but just like they're two sides of the same coin, I guess would be the best way of saying it. But like definitely the same coin, and that's why they constantly butt heads. Is like they try to vie for the same power that each is craving, which I think is a really cool thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why like Cacophonics would be one of the big, like if Cacophonics was to die or get injured, like Xaric would actually be like, upset about it just because of like something would hit like, oh man, this guy's like actually similar to me. But definitely very similar, the two of our characters, in a not so similar way.
Nice. What about you, Vic?
Probably Aquafina, just because Slay Girl Queen, it's inspiring. But otherwise, maybe Cacophonics, because I guess we're both concerned with like looting corpses. So,
bro, Cacophonics just wants whatever's like first thing after comment. What can I loot? What can I loot?
Yeah.
Yup,
So
yup.
Lolu's thinking it in the head. She's thinking it in the head.
Amazing.
So next question: has there ever been a handsome half man, half duck, half pirate character in the game?
It can happen.
There should be.
No, but I don't see why not. And someone write that in our group chat so I don't forget. But yeah, and we'll pin it and we'll
That's
make
a
sure
lot
they
of
come.
halves. Wait, what? That's a lot of halves.
It was raised upwards. Yes, I'm aware. That's 3 halves, right? Let's go.
No, I love like half pirates, so they just like part time. So like they go to a day job and then, honey, I'm just going out, and then they just go sail the seas and pillage.
Just like puts on the hat right outside the door.
Also, half man, half duck. What would that be like? Would that be like a man's body with a duck's head, a duck's body with a man's head? Like
That would be
what
magical.
be?
I'm just imagining like a super jacked male body and just a duck head. Just like a really small duck head. Just like, quack.
Well, yeah,
I've definitely seen that
Pirate Ducky
somewhere.
can definitely let us know if that what half upper half, lower half.
That's actually a good question to you, Mr. Arkonx, so not one in Chacha. In the last game, we had some very affluent social influencers suggest that they want some characters into the game, some NPCs into the game.
Mm-hmm.
If people wanted to get the NPCs into, if not this campaign, future campaigns and that, is that something you would be willing to do and willing to kind of let people, I don't know, maybe a reward or redeem or something where people can actually get characters into the game?
Absolutely not. Do your own game. Nah.
Oh, got him.
No, 100%. Like I think that's really fun. Like I think our game, and I think you touched on it, Insanity earlier when you were saying like you were told in the past people being like you have to commit time to D&D and yada yada. There's 100% people who take the D&D so serious, and I played a 5th edition game once, and the DM used to do meta damage if you referred to anything outside of character. So if you ever said like how many hit points you had, then you'd take damage for like speaking meta. And I was just like, I hate this. So like I love like just having a fun fluid game where it's just enjoyable and it's not so heavy on like rules or reality, because like as if someone as incapable as Oleg, the way I've made him, would be able to run a successful like trading hub,
Mm.
But we just overlook that because it's hilarious. So absolutely, like if I don't know if you want to, like once you do have a redeem or something like that, if you in your Discord you have a thing where people can post in it, and yeah, like if it can make it happen, yeah, I'd love to have people, in chat have that investment in it, right? And that's if anything is like really cool because it shows that you enjoying it as much as we're enjoying it. So yeah, absolutely. So there's a very long-winded way of saying yeah.
There you go, you guys heard it. We'll look at some way that you can get your suggestions for characters
Heard it here first.
into game. You heard it here first. And yeah, I think Captain Chris Action, he said the rule of fun, right? That's the most important, right? Like, rule of fun, right? Let's make sure we're having fun. So got another question, yeah? If your characters walked through a portal and came out the other side with additional special feature, what's an ability that would benefit the party?
What? What do you mean? Like,
so you went through a portal, came out the other side, and you had I'm
listening.
a special feature.
Yeah.
What's an ability that would benefit the party? So what like kind of special would you give a guy? I think this is where some of us will struggle not being experts at this. I think some of us would struggle with this because we don't actually know what's out there. Like,
yeah,
we recently hit level 4 and I found the spell that I can actually insult people and do damage by insulting them. And that for me is just, it's like next level, but I don't know what's out there. I don't know the high level spells and things like that. So I wouldn't actually know how to answer this one.
honestly, I would love if my character could come back. I'm not sure if it's like an ability or what, but like could come back in like an undead kind of way, just so he could like be in an actual relationship with J. Ethel. Like, I think if my character could get in a relationship with J. Ethel, he would do so. I don't know, I have no idea how that would benefit the party, but that's just.
I mean, the GM can kill you at any time.
Like,
there's just no guarantee that it'll bring it back.
I can definitely see like a cutscene where like, it's a beautiful moment, like Jaffel and Zarek are hanging out, and then he's like, "What's it like to be dead?" She's like, "I can show you."
Oh my
And then
god.
like romantically brings up her scythe, and it's like this weird romantic scene where he's like, "Show me," and then she just like slits his throat, and then brings
Dude.
him back, and it's just this cute anime, beautiful
So
scene.
beautiful.
I remember there's a little cutscene where like Zarek was talking to J Ethel, and J Ethel was like, "Hey, like, you wouldn't mind me performing like a ritual on you, would you?" And Zarek's just like, "Ah, well, who else we got? We got anyone else? Anyone else would
Oh,
be
that's
fantastic."
right. We've got the dinner party thing.
We have the dinner party that no one else knows about yet. Yeah, and it's
Fuck, I need to write that down
amazing.
somewhere because I'm gonna forget.
I haven't forgotten because like now that we have
Okay.
a town center, the plan is to have a dinner party. I'm not exactly sure what is entailed in the dinner party, but
Perfect.
all
I'll make a map. I'll make a map for it.
yeah, all I know is that we're gonna have a dinner party, and J-Ethel just needs to do whatever she needs to do to appease the gods.
That's probably where the fight's gonna happen. Great, perfect. I can't wait.
Oh man.
Following question to that is there any particular ability or trait your character's looking for or training for? Like I said again, I don't look at future levels because I'm not playing this according to any building thing. I'm literally just looking at the level at a time. I can 100% tell you I've not got to use my spell, but I'm so excited for that spell to where insult people and they take burn damage, right? Like he's like, I'm so excited to use this spell. I cannot wait. Like I might have to use on a friendly. If we don't combat soon, I'm going to use on a friendly, like, you know, like Aquafina or something. Like, just insults her so bad that she actually starts burning. Like, that is such a Cacophonics spell. And it's actually quite powerful if you go and read what it does. It's persistent burn damage. So it's not even that it does like a ow that burns. It actually keeps burning you. The guy's like sitting there like, he insults my mom, and he's like crying about it and keeps burning. Like, that's such an exciting spell. I'm so excited for that.
I just want Zarek to be useful, like in an actual combat. I definitely want him to train to like use himself instead of hiding behind an eidolon that can only do two things back and forth. Using some sort of attack spell or either that or being able to like either diplomacy or somehow charismatically get someone to leave combat would be ideal, or to convince them to fight for us. I think would be something I would love my character to be able to do.
Nice.
I'm thinking either finishing up some more deception, leveling up on that, just because I think that goes along with stealth, or mastering throwing knives. I think that would be really good. So then I can fight a little bit less forward with the rapier, because that's sort of the main weapon I'm using at the moment, but I want to be a bit back so I take less damage.
Very nice. What about you, X?
How much HP?
You
Like,
want what? More
more
HP?
like my life points are so low because I'm squishy. I want to be less squishy. I don't want to be like a full-on tank
Yeah.
because then y'all gonna put me in the front line there. But
Yep. Yup.
I would love more HP just so I feel less panicky about my situation every time an enemy wants to hit me. So I feel like yeah, that would make me more beneficial to the party, and I guess yeah, just
Well,
to
yeah.
train up and become more strong.
Well, I think as well, like, one thing, and I probably don't bring it up enough, is like when, like in the week and stuff, you guys are welcome to look at the item stores and be like, oh, can I buy this? And there is stuff that would give you more con and also give you more like AC. So you can upgrade your armor. Don't forget that by buying it. You know. But yeah, that's what I also just had a thought as well, that talking about the people bringing in NPCs. Yeah, you guys literally have a kingdom, right? So it's very plausible that the NPC, kind of like Animal Crossing. You know, the NPCs just populate the town and walk around and.
What's happening? Something about animal rights?
Animal Crossing.
Oh,
No, that's last game. Did Peter
Yeah.
ever get hold of Pepsi?
Good question. Yeah. I think they definitely, like after Otari, like especially being, Pepsi couldn't be too close to the capital of Absalon, so Pepsi had to dip and went north and found a nice secluded forest where she could probably escape from Peter.
Nice.
Well, I'm just speaking what I assume would happen. I don't know.
Peter was on her ass. They
Yeah.
said so many notices. That was awful. Awful stuff, guys.
For
So
those who don't
here's
know,
one.
Pepsi was Expletiva's character in the last campaign.
So this is one I think I can answer. So Grant asks, if you compliment or say something to a teammate, could you heal them? I'm just laughing internally at the idea of your character with a book of daily affirmations shouting them at the crew. So technically speaking, his actual main heal is something called Soothe, and it's a mental heal. So it's not like a cleric's, that actually does healing. It is actually just that. It's a mental thing. It's got the mental trait. So pretty much soothing is actually just going, you're gonna be okay, buddy. You got this. So technically, I mean, yes, like he's a master with his words, right?
and it helps. And it helps us. We feel better.
Oh, here's an interesting one. Random curse causes Freaky Friday. Everyone switches character sheets. Which friendly character would you have the most trouble playing? So who do you think you would have? This is a great one.
That's a good question.
Mm.
Good movie too.
Yeah, good movie. I don't
I
know.
like-
Probably
Yeah.
Or
Zarek, probably.
Medics character. I think I'd struggle the most with him.
I just don't like talking about things. I'd rather engage in the combat.
Classic. Hooligans.
Go getters.
Honestly, mine would be 100% Zarek, just because I don't understand how summoners work. I don't like
Me either.
rogues. I get them. Sorcerers, I get them. I don't understand how summoners work. Like, I don't understand how they act together in that shared HP pool. So I would honestly struggle the most with Zarek. Rogues, I kind of get. Like, it's kind of similar to in our first campaign. What was Blank's character? I forget, but it's kind of similar.
The Kitsune.
Yeah, the Kitsune. You really want to get people down, and you want to kind of surprise attack, and so I kind of get that, and I get like the sorcerer, the sorcerer. You really want to do this like range damage, and you're all about damage and hurting people, right? And like AoE damage. But the summoner, I just don't get it. So I would really struggle with the summoner, I think.
I think I'm playing it wrong, if I'm honest. I think I don't know how to play the summoner either. But I probably have a hardest time playing Aquafina. Just I don't understand the spell slots thing. I'd finally figured out how it kind of works, but the fact that I have to deal with, I can only cast this so many times and I have all of these different spells, I'm like, nah. I like having two things that I go to, 2 or 3 things, and I just keep repeating them, and eventually they work.
That's
I think the character I'm playing now is probably easier than the one I played in the last campaign, because this one, it's like I learn a spell, I know that spell. It's permanently in my repertoire, whereas previously, and I'm hoping that I'm going to explain this right and that I've understood the differences right. Previously, I could, every day, wake up a new day, I have my spell book, and I'm going to say, okay, cool, today I want this spell, that spell, that spell. And then the next time it refreshes, I can say, I don't want those spells, I want this spell, this spell, this spell. So it was not like permanently attached to me. I had access to these spells. and I could pick and choose every time which one I wanted. Of course, there were limitations on how many times they could be cast, but it was fluid in that way. Whereas now it's like I learn this one, I'm gonna waterboard you, and that's all I know. I know how to waterboard you, and that's done. It's not like I can wake up and change the spells if I wanted to. I mean, of course, as the game goes on, the rules do say that at the discretion of your game master or your dungeon master, you can alter them if you feel that it's really unbalanced based off how you've built your character. But for now, I think for me, it's okay. I'm fine with what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Before you jump on to the next one, Insanity, I just thought of a question similar to that. If let's just say I during the stream I got arrested, had to leave, and you guys had to take over one of my NPCs. Which NPC would you least look forward to trying to voice and play out? If you had
Svetlana.
to do it in my image.
Svetlana. I would rather just stop playing than have to try and flirt with Cacophonics.
Oh.
I would love to Svetlana. I'd love to flirt with myself. I would have a full-on monologue with myself, and I'd be more than happy. I don't think I could do Oleg justice. I don't think I could do him justice.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would not be able to play him like you, and I just don't think I'd be able to do him justice.
Oleg's one of one, baby.
Oleg and Merv. I need to
Yeah.
bring Merv back.
I'm sure Hope Murph comes back.
Hey, maybe there's always plans for Merv, but just at the right time, you know. Gotta have him come at the right time, otherwise it just doesn't hit the same, you know.
That's Cacophonics' motto. Come at the right time.
Oh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No. Piss you won't. No,
Did
I
anybody
couldn't do
answer that one?
anyone. I couldn't do any voices, so nobody.
Yeah, fun voice.
I could do my own voices, just not Arkon's
Oh yeah,
unique
no, you
voices.
do. Yeah, you could do your own voices for them. It's just which one would you most, more be like, oh, fuck.
I forgot their names. The two NPCs that were trapped in Stag Lords. The ones I can't pronounce their names. I can't pronounce their names. That's why I don't want to be them. Their names. You know who they are. You know who they are.
You know who they are.
You know who they are.
Amari.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's just a Scottish voice, and then
Valerie,
who's just a generic female voice.
See, I'm part Scottish and even I can't do it. So, well, I don't want to be Amari.
I'm nowhere near Scottish, and I probably if a Scottish person heard my Scottish accent, they'd be like, "The fuck is this shit?" But,
Yeah, they would. They
Where's
sure
this
would.
guy from?
but it's all about just speaking like you
No.
have an haggis.
Haggis.
Wow.
Get some haggis.
Aye.
Tile off.
So I got a question from Chacha, and then I've got a question that I want to ask as well. If you could steal an item off one of your teammates without them knowing, what item are you going after?
What does everyone have? They don't have anything worth stealing.
I sold all my items apart from my weapons, so I could have more money because, I need money.
Honestly, I'd probably take Cacophonics. I think Cacophonics has it. The Wand of Magic Missile. Yeah.
Do you have a loot? Is it a loot? I would take that.
We're just
You
rob 'em
motherfucker, you can't
blind.
take my main weapon, bro.
I would take that. I'm sorry.
Robbing them blind.
I think it'd be a pretty good jamming sesh.
Literally, my guy would become useless after that point, bro.
Yeah, that's why I'd become useless.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, who's the only guy that hasn't been knocked down?
Yeah, because you've been at least 50 feet from the closest bad guy.
You ran away.
You ran away every fight.
I've actually, the last two fights where we've nearly been TPK'd, the only person who's been live who's kind of saved everybody has been Cacophonics. I'm just saying, right? Just putting
Save
that out
is
there.
a really general statement.
Everybody
I will
else is
give you-
live because of me.
I will give you one fight where you really popped off. I'm not sure which one that was, but you popped off. I'm not sure which one that was, but there is no other one. There is one.
No, if you look at the very first fights, all three of our teammates were down. I was only on left standing, and I picked up Baby Hans. I picked up Jurek. And at the Stag Lord, all of you were down, and I picked you up and killed the bird. Otherwise, literally, the team would have been dead.
Was
That's
the bird
twice.
was the bird the one where your character got in like a trance?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
and you
yeah.
killed him.
That one was the one that made my character depressed because he was like, crap, Cacophonics like hard carried the team and I did nothing. But I don't remember that first one. I don't remember that first one.
That one in the castle.
Nope, didn't exist.
Legit, everybody
No.
was down except Cacophonics.
I don't someone go back in the VODs.
I don't remember that either. So
Sorry, did anybody answer that question? I can't remember.
I was gonna say I want to steal Lulu's weapons because I don't
Ah,
have weapons. Anyway,
thanks. You can have the bow because it never works out for me.
yes. I don't know. I don't know if I'm trained in weapons. I don't even know if I can use weapons. I don't think I can. I don't know. I'll have to check the character sheet. But
You could learn.
teach me.
So, my question, this is kind of like a technical one. What has been the most challenging thing so far for you to kind of get to grasp with from like, mechanics and your character? What have you found the most difficult thing to kind of understand and work through?
Definitely how my Eidolon levels up alongside of me. I still don't know how I do it. I'm just Archon and I kind of like talked about it and we're just like, yeah, this sounds about right. But Archon of Archives of Nethys doesn't really have anything really useful on how the Eidolon works. So it's very tough to try and be like, how do I make him does he get more useful the more I level up? So that's been tough.
Mine is definitely understanding the spell casters and understanding the spell slots and that, and also understanding there's a huge difference, and this is what X is talking about, between prepared and spontaneous spell casters. Like the whole way they work is completely different. Like you think, oh yeah, spell casters are all the same. It's so different to understand how that works and then to manage that as well. So like understanding how your spell economy works, how you can actually use spells, and how you can heighten spells as well. So that whole understanding of prepared versus spontaneous spellcasting and spellcasting in general for me has been huge learning curve, and I've had to do so much reading to try and understand how that works, like the difference between an actual level 2 and a heightened spell and what you can use in what slots and things like that has been
What a
difficult.
nerd. Sorry.
I think it's very
Keep
tricky.
going.
Don't hate me because I'm clever, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say about the spells as well, and just like we literally spent maybe 2 hours the one time just reading about just spellcasters and heightening spells, and I think we had leveled up the one time where then heightening became available, and I was so confused because you've got pathable with auto-filling things out, and then I don't know what at the time I didn't know what it was saying. Why did this change? Why did they change? So just understanding heightening, and then obviously the difference between heightening your cantrips to your other spells, that works in its own ways as well. So it's been an adventure, but slowly it becomes easier once you start actually leveling up and having the stuff available to you. I think what we did was on path build, I put my character to like max level and just started clicking random things to see what happens, and then stuff started making sense. It was like, oh, okay, I get it, because this exists here, this exists there. I've ended up with this, so
Yeah.
it's been fun.
Yeah, I agree. Just using the app was kind of hard for me at first because I was like, how do I roll? I don't know. And I was getting confused. Also, one of my abilities, which I always forget, tumble behind. Yeah, tumble through, tumble behind. I need to get way better at using that so people are more flat-footed, so it's way easier for me. But yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely bossed your character when I played it. I was just
Yeah.
shitting out damage, and I was like, this is what Victoria needs to do.
Sorry.
No,
We're
I
getting
just
there.
it was good to like see it and be like, it helped me understand is what I mean. I was just like, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
this makes sense.
It was crazy watching like a character actually deal damage. It's like, wow, this is the new baby Huns. Actually doing damage.
Right? Like, I would love to. I would love to actually go to the VODs afterwards and kind of go and just calculate. Like, next time we do a campaign or whatever, I'm legit going to do this because I'm a data guy and I love data. I'm gonna like record all the damage that everybody does and kind of just have an overall tally and see like what the total damage is. That would be so cool. Just see like how much damage and stuff, like and how much healing people did. That would be so cool.
We should have done it from the start. That would have been badass to track over time.
Has the party ever had to split up in order to move forward in a puzzle situation or due to a crazy trap?
Yep.
Had to is a strong.
I was going to say we didn't have to.
Yes, we did.
We ended
We
up
didn't have to.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
No, we didn't have to.
There was only one way it would work.
No.
No.
There was not only one way.
Had to is very strong. We did. I don't know if we had to. There's been a few times. I think there's been a couple of instances where we've actually gone separate ways. We had one where Zarek went to talk to the kobolds, or the rest of us set up an ambush. So he actually went to talk to not the kobold, Totushio, the kobold in disguise, while the rest of us were somewhere else set up a trap. We also had the time where we kind of snuck in the back of the fort while Zarek, kind of parlayed with them to kind of get somebody on our side. So we have had a couple of times where we have split up as a party.
And that's where I was mentioning earlier how like the styles are just vastly different. Where like my character just wants to talk and make it work, and then everyone else like, we should just combat. And I'm like, well, we don't have to. And if we are, I need to feel useful somehow, and the only way I'm useful is when I'm talking. But I feel like every time we've split up and I was able to talk while other people like set up some sort of ambush or took someone by surprise, it just worked. I'm just saying. It's worked every time.
I know you guys stuck a bunch of arrows in me yesterday, but I'm just coming here to let you know I'm still not a bad guy.
Yeah, hey,
I doubled down. It was great.
The rest of us in the corner are busy like trying to break open that trap door, which apparently none of us could open. And
yeah, then you got to meet Anthony.
Anthony, yeah.
I nearly killed Expletive, but bloody JF will
Saved it.
I think it was also a lot of grace on the DM's part, especially the Archon. I remember you saying like you were trying to be nice with when I went to go talk to Tarkushio.
Well, with your character, you're lucky because your character can speak Draconic.
Yeah.
But the kobolds don't speak Common. But because you spoke Draconic, I just found it made sense. Like rather than have you translate, I just in my head was like, well, you would probably be translating.
Yeah.
But I didn't bother going into it because I was like, oh, that just slows it down if I'm like, he's translating, and but yeah, like if you didn't have that, then yeah, that would have been a little vastly different. And same with like the Takushi. You did roll good though. That was the thing. Like if you'd rolled bad, then I 100% wouldn't have let certain things happen. But you rolled well.
Yeah.
Which is why like I was if you guys had stayed around the gate when they were shooting at you, like I was gonna kill you guys. 100%.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna be like nice and be like, oh, they'll parlay with you. Nah, they were.
That's why I went inside, guys. I was like, it's time to fight, and you guys like, no, let's run away, and I was like, I want to go.
The
I got one
problem
person
is-
down. I got us one less person to fight in the end.
The problem is, you're the only one that could actually make it up the wall. The
Literally.
rest of us could not make it up that
Well,
wall.
then
if
maybe
we
everyone's
tried.
next goal,
That was also
next level
hilarious.
up, is to improve your acrobatics.
Yeah, maybe our guys should like actually hit the gym, bro. Like
Yeah.
maybe
Do
like
some yoga.
these 3 casters need to go and hit the gym. Like,
Literally, me and Jay Ethel trying to clamber up the wall, and just constantly falling down. Oh, that was the worst. And then just Lolu standing there waiting for us to get up there.
I was like, let's go, guys. Hurry up. I'm running out of arrows. We need
Yeah.
to keep
Well,
going.
yeah, like it definitely is a good balance of like that's one thing with DMing is we're like, especially on this media where it's like it's different when you're playing in person because sometimes you will be a bit harsher, but because you know we're streaming it, it's got to be entertaining, right? Like if it was always just walking through, just like, all right, you roll this, okay, no, you can't go in, okay, you go on the trapdoor, you sneak it, it's boring. So it's fun to like give it a lot more flavor, which comes down to you guys coming up with creative stuff, and it would just be bad DMing if I was just like you guys like had a cool idea and I was just like, nah, that won't work.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it when you guys like come up with this random crap because I'm just like I love it. It's good. It's good fun for me. Puts me on my toes. I have to prep stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
And like because so much happens that isn't meant to happen that I just like on the fly make it happen. So it looks very smooth and it looks like that's probably how it's meant to go, but 100% wasn't. I've had to like backpedal and like be like, okay, with this, you know, so it's good fun for me as well.
has the party had any deaths, TPKs? No.
No.
Last campaign we did lose people. This
People-
campaign not yet.
We've had
Not
many
yet.
states of dying. We've had many states of dying, though.
We've come very close, but nobody's died yet. And no TPKs yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Very
Much
ebb and
Arkon's
flow.
disappointments.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very ebb and flow. Like there was like the start of that Stag Lord combat, you guys were smashing it, and then it just flipped, and suddenly like you know when the Stag
Yeah.
Lord like shot the arrow and took out like Zarek, and then
Absolutely ruined me. Yeah.
yeah, and then like JFL and Lolu were down, and suddenly it was like flipped right away. And then I did some bad rolls, and then you guys did good rolls, and it just flipped back again. It's like there was definitely moments where I was like, "Oh crap, I might TPK," and I was honestly considering. There was a moment during that combat where I was like, "All right, should I just whiff some numbers and like, make just get you guys to survive, or should I just follow the dice?" And I had that thought in my head where I was like, "Okay, should I just?" I went with the dice. But I was like, "Oh, like I might actually kill everyone here," and I kind of didn't want to, and a part of me didn't want to, but
Hmm.
I kind of was like, I should keep
So-
true to the dice,
Can I make a request, Jet? If that ever happens, as much as I love Cacophonics, if it's his time, it's his time, right?
Yep.
Like my vote is
Yep.
always just go with the dice.
Go with
right?
the dice. Go with the dice.
Even
If
I'll-
we die, we die.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be devastated, right? But my next character gives me opportunity to explore my next character. Like I'll be devastated with Cacophonics. So if ever that happens, my vote is just go with the dice, right? I'm gonna regret
Alright.
this next week, aren't I?
I think
Or
it's
late last week.
fantastic. Like the actual, like just knowing that it can actually happen instead of like, oh, maybe Archon's like in a good mood and he'll save it. Like, nah, if it happens, it happens. I love that fear of just like knowing that it can happen, literally doing the stupidest thing and just like the most minute thing and like, and we're dead for some reason. But 100% go with the dice for sure.
Like walking into an optional dungeon.
Yeah.
Playing the trap, and then 2 of your party members are dead.
And what, we're at session like 11 now. I think we've like done enough that if our character dies, if Zarek was to die, I'd be like, you know what, he did it, he tried, he put in some effort, he did his best, and he just wasn't that guy. He was not the main character. He just failed miserably. But like, and I'd be devastated, but I'd be fine with it.
I think we're saying the wrong things here, guys. No, I take that back, Archon. Please don't kill other people. Don't go with the dice. Be merciful.
Nah.
Mercy.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's all what the dice rolls. But there's some cool encounters coming up, and I'm very excited for them.
Like
That's all I'll say.
we got hero points too, right? Like that saves
Yep.
us.
Yep.
Yeah, we're good. I got 1 hero point. I think I already used one on something or other.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, guys, I am going to put a little bit of a time check here. We'll be going at
Yep.
nearly 2.5 hours. Do we want to start kind of wrapping up? Final
Yep.
comments, final questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a question.
All right.
If people in the party started like fighting, would you just let it go, or would you call like order and be like, guys, no, don't do that?
Define fighting like
So like when Cacophonics was going to run away, I was going to go and kill him. I was going to chase him and fight him, and I would have killed him because he just leaves us behind.
Abandoned. Yeah.
So
Ooh, yeah, good question.
how would you play that out? Like if the people start turning on each other for whatever reason it might be, disagreements in the kingdom or in battle, such as like that.
If it made sense, then yeah, why not? Like, as long as it's you're doing what would be true by your character and not true by expertise, then
Yeah, I just wanted to just kill everyone for fun. Yay!
well, just but like yeah, that's a tricky one. Yeah, I think I'd really have to see in
See
the
how
moment.
it goes. Yeah.
But I think in general, I would be fine with it as long as it's makes sense. Then yeah, why not? Like let's say Lolu goes to steal Cacophonics' loot, right?
Yeah.
And
Which is something
gets
I can
caught,
do.
does a bad roll, gets caught, and he's like, guards, arrest her, and then they do a public execution. I'm not gonna interfere with that. Like, yeah, you broke the law.
I'd be
You know,
real
like,
mad.
Yeah, it's kind of like
I don't
that's
know
the
if you'd win that
consequence of
encounter
your
with me.
actions.
And if
But, like-
anyone was to kill J. Ethel, I would be right in like retribution.
I think
So-
if anyone kills Jethel, they get crowned queen of the abyss. So.
That's
That's just what I've
Slay
heard, though. That's just what I've heard, though.
I feel like, though, to be 100% honest, right? And the one thing I think, like, something that we must all like remember is our actual characters' alignments and things like that. So honestly, if you think about this, right, like I think X is the only one that would realistically base a character. Now, I know you can shift, but then you need to play like that consistently, right? I think X is the only one realistically that would actually kill Cacophonics. Yes, Zarek would bitch slap him, Lolu would most probably like punch him in the face and piss on his asleep corpse or his asleep
Catnap.
yeah. But I think realistically, because I think she's the only one that's actually chaotic evil, so she actually wouldn't hesitate to kill him, right? I think that's a big thing that you have to take into consideration.
I don't think I'd ever like kill a PC, but I would definitely fight them. Like I'd be completely fine just like sending off a shot or two, or like having like a at Oleg's, and then we have a fist fight, just like Cacophonics and I, or like anybody, just like have like a PC fist fight kind of deal. I'd be fine with doing something like that, but I don't think my character would ever like kill. Yeah, my character would never kill another character unless like pushed to the absolute brink.
Yeah.
So you're saying basically if Aquafina just woke up one day and started like waterboarding people, you'd be like, no, stop that. Like, what are you
I'd
doing?
be Slay Queen. Let's go.
Well, I won't hurt you because you're a cat, but like
Obviously.
I'd probably try to like diplomacy my way into like, don't do it. Stop.
Don't
It's
do
not
it.
worth it.
You've got to regret it. This is going to negatively impact your future career.
Yeah. Think about
I have your mom.
Cacophonics' children. Yeah.
Think about the baby.
Yeah, think about the baby.
It needs an emotionally distanced father. Lolu knows all about it.
Arkon, here's a question for you. Do you have a pantheon of deities or deities you use?
Yeah, so there's the Pathfinder wiki, which is just has so much information that you could spend hours traversing through it. So I basically go off that. The good thing is because it's a pre-written adventure, like it says who, like what people worship. So for example, JFL worships Urgathoa, and like I can either just have that as a thing, or like I've read into Urgathoa and read what she's about, and I've based a lot more of JFL's personality off that because it's like that's who her personality would be off. So definitely, yeah, use that, which is kind of good, and it's all part of the world because yeah, the Pathfinder universe has its own history book, everything like if you were set in Lord of the Rings kind of thing. Yeah, it's that kind of thing, which is cool. So I just follow them.
Cool. Last question, and then I think we call it a night, guys. Unfortunately, I do have work tomorrow.
Yeah, of course.
What if any homebrew rules have backfired in gameplay or needed to be tweaked? I think this is another Archon question.
I can think of a clear example of where things backfired. When you rolled that critical and it was like a 0 or something, and we had decided to use what was there instead of like doubling.
Oh yeah.
You could have done
Yeah.
damage, but we chose to use what was there, so you ended up hitting us for nothing.
Deities,
Or
yeah,
-1 or whatever. It was something weird it did, but
Yeah, yeah, 100% why I think yeah, 100% like that's why I asked initially like what do we want to do, because it's better to have it's set in stone. But yeah, that's a very good one. One that comes to mind for me is like the whole drawing weapons and stowing weapons. Because the rule is like it's an action to, you know, like you drop your weapon and then an action to draw the weapon, and sometimes it's just a bit like I don't know. It makes sense, but also it's a bit nerfy. So like I think, you know, having like you drop the weapon, it just kind of like adds a whole extra element of complexity that doesn't need to. Which is why I made that change the rule to be like, all right, you can just you literally stow the weapon and it just doesn't count as an action, as usually it would count as an action. And also just I thought about taking out the whole changing weapons as an action, but then I guess it makes sense. But I kind of had considered, and if you guys did want to change it, I'm fine with that as well because it benefits my monsters. But that's something to think about as well if you guys did want to change that house rule. But it's definitely like with the Stag Lord, it nerfed him because he had his sword out when he was chasing after Zarek, and then he had to do an action to move, do an action to take out the bow, do an action to shoot, and then he couldn't really make much. He couldn't make the distance. He was ages away. So then when the owlbear saw him, he couldn't really do anything. He was wrecked.
Yeah. I don't think we should
Cool.
change that at all.
No, so I kind of like where
it.
we're at now. I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, for sure.
Plus, I don't change weapons that often, so.
Exactly. I don't have a weapon yet. I have a staff, I guess.
Yeah, it nerfs me basically.
Yeah.
Cool. Guys, can I just say I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed this. I think this is a great thing to do. We should be on again. We try to be on every Sunday at 8:30 New Zealand time. So hopefully we'll be on this Sunday. I don't think anybody's mentioned anything as to why we can't. But this Sunday we'll actually be doing some of the gameplay. So we'll be getting back into building our kingdom. We'll get back into seeing these beautiful characters. But yeah, I definitely think this is something that we should be doing more often. I think this is really good to answer some of these questions and get some of this backstory. I think is absolutely amazing. Yeah. So yeah, definitely be back on Sunday again, guys. Anybody want to add anything to that?
I was just gonna say, I think because we essentially, this was an end of a book, so I think we could definitely look at doing this kind of style of Q&A at the end of each book.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
True.
Unless there's a, but otherwise, obviously during stream, people are more than welcome to ask questions, and it could always be something at the end of the stream if we have time.
Yeah.
And then I just put in the chat link to the YouTube channel, which GameMedic has some of the episodes up there. So if you guys do want to see it from episode 1 and kind of see some of the stuff we've been talking about, definitely go check it out.
I'm still working on getting the latest ones up. For some reason, the audio and visual are not synced whatsoever. So I think I'm maybe stealing like Cacophonics' VOD or something for the more recent ones, but it'll be good. It'll be good nonetheless.
And I'll one day also upload it to YouTube. One day when I get the time to actually do editing and all the cool stuff that Zarek's doing or GameMedic's doing. One day.
But yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
I think that's good. I think it's good.
So just a quick shout out again. GameMedic, absolute beauty. I think follow him, all your socials, all GameMedic, right? GameMedic _.
You better believe it.
Catch him. He occasionally streams. I think he should be streaming more and not putting you on blast or anything.
I literally have no excuses. I will be doing more Tears of the Kingdom, and then I am doing something new once a week, which I will probably unveil next Sunday.
Nice. We got VictoriasJoined, Slay Queen over there. Do you want to give us a little bit of a shout out, your socials, what
Absolutely.
you stream?
I'm VictoriasJoined on everything. I stream Valorant and Minecraft Bed Wars, everyone's favorite game of all time. And I do some just chatting as well.
Archon. Screw Archon. No one cares about Archon.
Screw con.
Yeah.
What don't have an
I'm
Insanity?
doing it. I'm doing it.
Talking, but he's not talking in Discord.
I think
Insanity's muted and he hates us.
Insanity's
He hates us all.
muted.
He hates us all.
I was just saying, we've got obviously Explotiva. She's a genius. She streams, I catch her streams whenever I can. Although I think the last time stream was 2 years ago, but I'm definitely in all her streams when she has them. But she doesn't stream. Her art is another expression. Go check out Expletiva's scuffed art on Instagram. I think it's explotiva.art. Can drop a link. Really cool shit. She drops stuff on there all the time. So go give that a like. And then absolutely last, but definitely not least, the man who's made this all possible, who puts in all the extra work, who literally keeps us all in order and hasn't killed us yet out of kindness. Archon, tell people about you.
Yeah, so I'm a variety streamer as well. I have actually been doing some streams, so there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it in real life stream, that one time, so that was cool. And then just stream whatever's I'm feeling. So catch me, either catch me outside or catch me on Twitch.
Yes,
But
sir.
always a pleasure.
To you guys watching, appreciate all the questions. Those are some really cool questions. You guys have been phenomenal. Be sure to tell your friends, send the word, go to GamerMedic's YouTube, watch those VODs, share those VODs. Want to try and get as many people watching this. Appreciate the people that came in with the raids. You guys have absolutely been phenomenal. I loved having those questions. There were some great questions, some great ones for thought. So yeah, appreciate all of you. And we'll see you this Sunday, 8:30 New Zealand time. We'll be playing Watch Us destroying all of Archon's monsters.
Yes,
Yippee!
sir.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
It will happen.